Y'all, I've been holding on to this secret for a mighty long time. Yes, the Watchtower has allowed me in my lifetime to experience paradise in this system of things. What am I talking about? Stay tuned. Hey, and welcome back to Same OT. And yes, I have experienced paradise courtesy of the Watchtower. What am I talking about? Well, guys, back when I was maybe 33 or 34, I got the privilege to attend an international convention in Hawaii. This video will be a bit of story time about that experience. Use the word privilege, which I know can be very triggering for a lot of you all, but let's start there. So I can't remember, don't feel like looking in boxes for some type of documentation of what year it was, but I want to say it was about 33, maybe 34. And the reason I know that is because that particular year that they were having these international conventions, they had changed the qualifications. So I think in the past, like you either had to be like a regular pioneer or, a ministerial servant or an elder, or you had to be like baptized for, double digits or something like that. And so they had never, ever, to my knowledge, recollection, had changed up the qualifications. So if I'm not mistaken, the qualifications is you had to have been baptized at least 2 years and pretty much had to be in good standing. And basically your application would be, I guess you could say, pre-approved. The way presented to me, like the elders would either give a green light saying yes, and body, the people at Bethel consider this person kind of thing. So I remember thinking, oh, great, because the places was pretty cool. Like I think they had Australia, they had Hawaii. Oh, did I mention? Yeah, I went to Hawaii. That's paradise. I want to say somewhere, maybe Tokyo, something like that. But they was pretty, exotic places in my eyes. And so I was like, I want to do Hawaii. And it was like, this whole big to do. So anyway, going back to these qualifications, I had met the qualifications, right? But when I tell you I was on pins and needles about will I get picked? Would I get picked? So here's where this video is going to go left, right? For my JWs who love to stay over here and watch the content. This is where you're going to get upset. In hindsight, I realized this was all BS, right? They basically, the elders had the power to pick and choose, who was going to go. And let's be clear, these international conventions were not cheap by any means. So ironically, or not ironically, everyone who submitted a application were of means, right? Mostly married couples, a couple of single sisters who, had good jobs, were pioneers and things like that. So guess what? My application was approved. Okay. I was not, the poster child for, the best JW in the world. But I think that the reason my application was approved because it helped the numbers, right? People who really, really want to go, they didn't have the resources to go. People who met the old qualifications didn't have the resources to go, right? Because they just working part-time, renting a room for one of the friends and things of that nature. So at the time I thought, oh my God, it's such a privilege, Jehovah's really, showing his hand, in my favor or what have you, for me to get picked, right? To have these qualifications change, right? Around the time that I'm hitting my over 2-year mark. Now, I have since learned that everything that this organization does is very strategic. They lowered those qualifications because they want to fill up them seats and show these other countries and things like that hey, we could draw big crowds and they're gonna spend money and it's gonna boost the economy kind of thing, right? Because when you think of your kind of local conventions and things like that, you're highly discouraged from, going out to eat. You should bring your lunch and, mingle with the friends and all that kind of stuff. But these international conventions, it's like, any other organization that can draw in thousands of people. That means the restaurants, retail, all the things will, get a boost, right? That's what cities want. They want big conventions coming to their town. So yeah, I got picked and I went, and I think I've shared pieces of this story. I'm not going to go all into detail, what have you, but if you ever watched my 3-part kind of how I became a JW, how I woke up series, then you've heard me speak of Sister Long-Winded. Sister Long-Winded husband didn't want to go. So here I am, single sister. And so me and Sister Long-Winded at the time were cool. So I said, I'll pair it with her. And when I tell you, every single person in that congregation came to me and said, are you sure you want to do this? Because she could wear you out, right? She could wear you out. And it's comical because when ExJWs, former JWs talk about the backbiting, the talking behind your back nature of Jehovah's Witnesses, they will get so mad and want to defend, to the death in the comments. It's like, I have real examples, right, of people trying to discourage me from partnering up with this sister just because she could wear you out talking. The hypocrisy, I tell you. So anyway, end up getting everything squared away. Mind you, I had not been on a plane in probably a decade, so I was terrified. So, show you how jacked up my thinking was. I had laid out like all my life insurance policies, all important papers, so that if I was to die in this crash that I just knew was coming, my mom wouldn't have to be digging through stuff. Like, these are the things I was preparing for. End up going, and when I tell you, call it Waikiki Beach. That's where we stayed. So if somebody can put in the comments, which island is that? I think it started with an O, but that's where we were at. And when we got there, I was just like, OMG. Like, I think at that time I had not been even to the Caribbean. So it was like, wow, it was like paradise, right? And so you seeing all these friends, and you have people like in a traditional, like cultural, outfits and things of that nature. And it was cool. But I remember thinking like, everybody was like, see how organized we are, and this know this and this know that. And it's like, well, other large groups gather and nobody's, committing violence and, all these kind of things. But I just don't recall feeling this sense of extra spirituality because it was an international convention. I'm like, it's the same thing, right? Then when we right here in Romeoville, okay? So that part, it kind of missed me. I thought it was kind of cool to see people in their traditional cultural outfits and things of that nature. But as far as feeling any special way, no. But people did treat me different when I got to the Kingdom Hall, because it was like, she went to an international convention. And I'm like, it really ain't what y'all think it is, right? I was more trying to take in the experience. So with Sister Long-Winded, she was definitely trying to block my flow. Wasn't that I was trying to like go off, dip off, get kidnapped or nothing like that. But I wanted to experience Hawaii. Like, going wasn't just about this spiritual food. It was like, hey, I'm in Hawaii. I'm in a really nice hotel for a good package. I want to say at the time, it might have been $1,500, for everything, which was pretty good. I remember they kept saying, you need to take money. It's so expensive. It's so expensive in Hawaii. I think I took $2,000. I am almost positive I came home with $1,600. And I got these really cute purple suede boots. That was like the only thing I bought, and eating and stuff like that. But I knew it was expensive, but it wasn't the most expensive trip as far as, money dishing out. So I don't know. But anyway, I tried to soak up as much of paradise as I could, but also at the same time, like, we in this beautiful place, absolutely gorgeous. But I would spend some time when I could get away from her talking to like the natives, there, and learning the ugly side of paradise, right? How you have people working sometimes 2, 3 jobs and they're still homeless. So like on Waikiki Beach, as the sun was set, you will see down, kind of out of the hub or whatever restaurants and hotels and, all that was, you would see tents going up. These are working people, but they're homeless because it's so expensive. I found out that many people did not own their homes if they were fortunate to have a house, right? And pretty much everything is imported, right? Even though it's part of America, it's not part of the connecting 48 states, kind of thing. So it's like so much stuff has to be imported in. So that, of course, brings up, the price on things. And so for me, what I recall is it was a perfect example of how, like, on the outside, things may look so beautiful, just like, JW organization, so peaceful, so wonderful, and all the things. But on the inside, it ain't as cute, right? You got people who are native to this land, and they can't even afford to own a home, can't afford to, rent. They're working 2, 3 jobs, trying to money up to, be able to, get into something stable. And so they, sleeping out on the beach. And then was able to talk to Jehovah Witnesses who were in awe that I was from Chicago, where we have the different seasons. And I'm like, but y'all is nice, year round for the most part. They was like, yeah, but you got to deal with tsunamis and, hurricanes and this and that. And I'm like, wow, that gave me perspective. Like, it's so easy to look at somebody else's grass and be like, it's so cute, it's so green, it's so lush, right? But you don't know what they got to do in order to keep it that way, right? So sometimes the grass that you got may not be that bad, or somebody might think your grass, look pretty good. So yeah, so that's just some of the things I was thinking about and what kind of triggered this. 2 things that triggered this video. One, I get so many JWs in the comment section who are always crying about, you never say anything good, So I'm like, okay, well, here it is. I got to go to Hawaii because I was a chosen one, for this international convention. So if you have watched this far, are you happy now? That's my one good thing that I can think of. Okay. 2, I was out running errands this morning and the weather is beautiful. And so even though my surroundings may not have palm trees and sand and things like that, it just felt so good to be able to do what I want to do on a Saturday morning with beautiful weather, right? So that was my bit of paradise this morning. So this was a video I had already planned to discuss, but today I was like, today's the day because I'm feeling it. Back to the convention. So one thing that they encouraged us to do was get like business cards or postcards with your information on them so you can share them with the friends and this and that. And I remember thinking, I'm from Chicago, from the South Side. I said, y'all want to put my address on here? Like, I don't know these people. I don't care if they Jehovah's Witnesses. I don't know them. You know what I'm saying? And they was like, well, you could put, the Kingdom Hall address. So I really didn't want to do that. I wasn't looking for no pen pals or things like that. I've never been one of these people who like, oh, you're Jehovah's Witness, you can stay with me. No, I don't know you. Okay. In the words of Miss Millie from The Color Purple, I don't know them either. So I'm just like, mm-mm. But I broke down, got some cards from Vistaprint. And when I got home, I had a bag full of cards, y'all. Them things sat there. Once I woke up, I shredded all that stuff. Okay? I never received a call or a letter for any of those friends. So it's just, in my opinion, it's just for performance. It's just for performance to be able to say this international brotherhood and, these are your brothers and sisters. No, they're not. No, they're not. They're not my brothers. They're not my sisters. And so no harm, no foul, because nobody was going to be allowed to stay with me. And if I had happened to come to their country, I definitely was not going to stay with them. I do not know you. Sorry. So my level of just openly trusting, because you profess to be in the same religious cult as I am. No, not going to do it. But yeah, it was just very interesting. So one funny thing, super hilarious. So we went to this restaurant and I had never heard of it, never seen it, definitely not in Chicago. So I thought it was something exclusive to Hawaii, right? When I say the name, y'all don't laugh at me. Food was delicious. They had, what was it? A pineapple banana ice cream or something like that, or like fried banana with the pineapple ice cream. I mean, it was just so delicious. When I got home from Hawaii, I'm telling my best friend about it, this, and that. And I said, the name of the restaurant is called PF Chang. He cracked up laughing. I said, what's so funny? I said, have you heard of it? Have you been to Hawaii? He was like, no, I ain't been to Hawaii. He said, but PF Chang is not exclusive to Hawaii. It is not some, one-off restaurant. He was like, they everywhere. Needless to say, I was outdone. I will say this. I have gone to PF Chang maybe 3 times since that time in Hawaii. And it still don't taste the same. So I think the Hawaiian people put a little something on it, because it was really delicious down there. It was okay up here. Okay. But yeah, just a quick little video, y'all, to I guess poke a little fun at the Watchtower and the JWs that like to come over here on the channel. And I'm gonna give them their flowers. The Watchtower did allow me to experience paradise in my lifetime in this system of things, because I was one of the chosen ones to have the privilege to attend an international convention, and it had nothing to do with I could afford it. I'm sure. Wink, wink. Well, y'all, that's all I got. Just a little something that was on my brain lately that I wanted to share with y'all. Have you all ever been to an international convention? If so, do you recall what the qualifications were, and where did you go? And share, like, how did you feel? Did you come back feeling more spiritual? Did you keep in touch with any of the international brothers and sisters that you might have met or got the information from, and things of that nature? But I hope you all like this video. Please give me a like. If you have comments, keep them respectful. Put it in the comment section. And if you are looking for a good time and a real time, then come over here and join the Real One tribe. So hit that subscribe button. And if you think somebody will get a kick out of this video, please do share. And until the next time, I'm out. Peace.